Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? This is a random video, and I just wanted to talk about my city a little bit. Tell y'all about the city that I live in, Boston, Mass. I know people may, when they hear that city, automatically just come up with whatever they believe the city to be like, or um, I think most people automatically think when they hear Boston, Mass, no bullshit, that it's just like predominantly white people, which I would say we're strictly talking about Boston because I'm living in the city part. I'm not living in the towns that tend to be on the outside of the city. Those are the more rural areas. Some of them are kind of rural, but they still got a lot of shit going on in them, like they living in the hood. So, in that aspect, I really won't paint my city. It's diverse. Let me say that the city of Boston is very diverse. Again, I'm focusing on the city of Boston. Other parts of Mass may have certain people from different cultural backgrounds living predominantly in certain towns. Even with that being said, it's not predominantly just per se Caucasian people. You have people from all types of ethnicities living in different parts of Massachusetts, in the city and also outside the city. So I live in a town called Mattapan, Mass. Some people call it Murder Pan. I don't know if it's just because I'm born and raised in here, so I'm kind of immune to things that go on, but I definitely don't fear walking out my house. As a matter of fact, if I hear any type of drama outside or around or on the news, it's not shocking, but it's not. I definitely think about, oh shit, like, so it's not like people are shooting and fighting and stabbing and doing crazy shit every day, 24 hours. So it's like that's something that can happen anywhere and throughout the city of Boston. I will say that, even in like common places like downtown. Downtown Boston is not the same downtown Boston as when I grew up. Downtown Boston is where, the State House is located, the Gold Dome. Um, Downtown Boston is where Park Street is, famous old school Park Street still looks the same. The old state houses. So downtown Boston leads to like the Freedom Trail. There's like the first black church. It's like it's a lot of historic area downtown Boston. Okay, um, that is not the same as it used to be. The Swan boats, all that areas, all that's down there. Um, it's drug infested, meaning there's homeless people. There's a homeless shelter right there, right at Park Street Station. And it's like, it's just not the same. It used to be really nice when I was younger, but now it's just like people on drugs, homeless people, drug dealers. There's a lot that goes on down there. And it seems to happen 24 hours. Early in the morning, late at night, throughout the day. Anytime you go downtown Boston, Park Street, it's not all pretty. It's a lot going on in that area. People doing their thing, hustling. So that's one thing I want y'all to take about people, because people talk about Boston, but they don't talk about what it really is. Because the average person, if you come here and you go to these sites that people talk about, downtown Boston, because that's where the shopping area is. There's a grocery store down there. There's all the shopping stores and stuff down there. It's like a little shopping point here in the city, and that's what you're gonna see. So remember I told you, because it's been like that for years. But nevertheless, it still has Park Street and the park. What else is down there? I did a video when I was down there. The 54th Regiment is also down there, located across the street from the State House. So, yeah, but that's what I wanted to say about downtown Boston. So now, I live in Mattapan. I've lived in different parts of the city, towns inside of Boston. You have Dorchester, you have Mattapan, you have Roxbury. Those are like the main places that people would consider to be inner city located inside Boston, I say. And then you have Milton, and then you have, where else we have? Hyde Park. Hyde Park, I used to live there. I love that town. That's where the old Mayor Menino, rest in peace, that's where he used to live. Um, so it's other little towns, but those are like the main ones I think of. Hyde Park, Mattapan. Oh, then there's Roslindale. Roslindale tends to be more of a, it has more of a Latin, Hispanic, you have Dominicans over there, more of Hispanic people over there. Also, Mattapan is diverse because my neighbors, I have white neighbors, I have Hispanic neighbors on my street. It's very diverse over here. Um, so Mattapan has a lot of Haitian Creole. I have a lot of Haitian people live in Mattapan. And then when you go down to further parts, you can get a little whatever. But Dorchester is mixed. Um, you have Vietnamese people. You have, black people. You have Hispanic. You have it. It's mixed, but Dorchester is has a lot of Vietnamese people that live there. Also, Malden is what I'm. It's another town, Malden, which is not that far from the city, but that's not in Boston. So the main cities in Boston are Mattapan, Roslindale, Roxbury, Dorchester, Hyde Park. I might be missing one or two, but anyways, the city is very diverse, very very diverse. Um, it's just a very diverse place. If you come here, you will see that okay, there are certain parts that like the North End, which a lot of time people and stuff live over there. It tends to be a little bit more. It's the North End, so I would say that's like the city's little Italy, the North End. I have to get some pizza over there. I have yet to have some pizza in the North End. So over there is also where the old Boston Garden, TD Garden is, like in that area. So what else can I say? Yeah, but the city is just diverse. You have people of all people that are from African descent, people from Haiti, people that are Haitian, Hispanic, Latin, whatever you want to call them, Dominicans, we have Chinese, we have Vietnamese, we have Indians, we have people from all different backgrounds in the city of Boston, particularly. And again, there are also some towns on the outskirts of the city that have. I haven't even been to these, so I have towns that I have never even been in. But what I'm learning is that a lot of different people from other cultures live predominantly in some of those outside towns outside of the city. So, what else can I say about the city? I'm I would say if you're looking for a place to have fun, you got to know where to go. But there's definitely spots, just like any other city has, where people will go congregate to listen to music. They have clubs. We have clubs. Now, the clubs have been going through their things. The clubs have been having their own little gentrification. There's some hood clubs that just have always been the clubs in the hood. And then there are some clubs that used to be like in the downtown theater district area of Boston, which is just right up the street from downtown Boston, really. That used to be more diverse. And it looks as if it's happening again, and there's different clubs in different areas depending on the night, where if you are somebody who's looking for some diversity, you'll be fine. But we have lots of events, and we have a place called the Russell Auditorium, where a lot of artists, we have a lot of reggae artists that come to the city. We have a big cultural, uh, Boston is very cultural in terms of we have a lot of Jamaican community, we have a lot of Trinis, we got a lot of, we have a lot of people from the Caribbean background here in the city of Boston as well. So if you're gonna find some type of event, you're always gonna be able to find something, whether you're Haitian Creole or something, that celebrates you on a daily. Because that's something that I have noticed here. Y'all know, we have the carnival every year. There's the Caribbean Carnival that happens every year. When I was younger, it was different. And we also have a kite festival, which they have placed in Franklin Park. When I was smaller, it used to be like going through a certain part of Roxbury. Um, and it would end in the Franklin Park, but now it's just secluded into the park. They also have a Puerto Rican festival where people come out. They have food, the vendors, and they have drinks and they have the rides and all that. But like, I went last year, and that's inside Franklin Park too. So Franklin Park is also located in, I would say that's Roxbury, because like I said, the city to me is like all the same because it's like you go down, you one area you're in Roxbury, next area Mattapan. I don't think the city's that big. So when people say they're from Roxbury or Dorchester or Mattapan, I lived in all of them. So to me, it's the same shit, honestly. But somebody else might say it's different. I know some people who predominantly who don't even come out of Roxbury. I'm like, Roxbury's like 10 steps. What do you mean? What are you doing with your life if you're never going to leave out of your little town? Like, what? But the mentality is a whole nother thing. I'm not going to get into that. But so, yeah, we have clubs and events. And it's going to be some of, if when you're going to the hood clubs, you're going to see some of the same people, especially the people who like to go out. They're going to know the parties and, the after parties or the pool parties. The summertime comes, it's parties all the time. You might hear your neighbors having a party and this whatever because they live in their life. So what else can I say? Besides that, there's all types of things you can do in Boston. It depends on what you're looking to do. You would have to just do the proper research to find out when it's something that you may be interested in when they're having it. They have all kinds of comedians that come to the theaters. We have the Wing Theater downtown Boston too. So we have theaters where people come and do shows all the time. We have Big Night Live, which is located at North Station. There's also a huge grocery store there, and it's a nice little area where people come for restaurants. And it's North Station, which is, I would say, maybe close to North End. I don't know, but anyways, the North Station. It's Big Night Live. A lot of artists come to that venue. They also have like different nights, like R&B nights, where it's just the DJ playing R&B all night, and people are just vibing. They have all kinds of things. They have like where you can paint and the sip and paint. There's just no shortage of events. You can go to the zoo, or we have museums. We have the Science Museum. We have the aquarium. We have different things, like if you want to get into it here. They even have poetry slams. Again, you just have to look up when these things are so you know when the events are happening. But me, I don't really do too much, I would say. I'm going to try to do more, but I'm actually more interested in doing things outside of the city, even though I haven't even done too much things in my own city. But the zoo, yeah, I love the zoo. I've been to the zoo 1,001 times. The aquarium, all that shit you grow up doing, going on field trips because you live in the city. So the Freedom Trail and things like that, those are all nice. Downtown is really nice for people who've never been to the city. So I can see why the people come here, and I be walking and they just be like in Touristville, because that's how I would be if I'm in a different city. So, but yeah, with the food, I would say we have no shortage of food. The food here is more so depending on what you want to eat. You got the people who cook. You got the hood restaurants. You got the fast food restaurants. We have seafood places. We have no shortage of different foods. You want Indian food. You want Vietnamese food. You want Chinese food. You want halal. You want whatever you want. Like, we have a good amount of restaurants all over the city. But it's a matter of eating from different restaurants and deciding what you like, because I already know I have my go-to restaurants, but that's from trial and error. So, and I also cook a lot. So, but yeah, in terms of food, I said there's all kinds of restaurants everywhere. You can get to them on the tea, which we also have the tea. I can't forget about the tea. The tea people here, it's gotten better because I guess they got the new guy. What's his name? I don't know. Sorry, new guy, but he seems to be doing things because we have some new trains, which were already established before he came along, but they've been working on it in terms of efficiency and being on time and not having to wait 20, 30 minutes for a train. So we have a different train system. This is a public, what do they call it? A friendly, whatever. You can move around without having a car here. A lot of people don't have a car. I don't have a car, but I want a car. But I think it's because I've mainly been driven around a lot, and I've been the buses, the trains, whatever I need it's always something kind of near where I've been living in, even in doesn't the different parts. It doesn't matter if I'm in Mattapan, Roxbury, Dorchester, whatever, Hyde Park. There's always some type of train, subway, rail. We have the commuter rail, which goes further out. We have different lines that take you to different parts of Boston, not even just Boston. It takes you out to different towns. So it's very T accessible in terms of, so if you don't want to have a car, you have to be prepared to deal with the MBTA. You might get a little crazies on there, but just like a regular, it's public transportation. But you know, people pretty much will be looking at somebody when they act crazy, like, are you crazy or do we have to jump you? Sit the fuck down and wait till it's time for you to get off. But so it's definitely a place where you can travel. The train costs right now. How much is the train? I think the train is like $2.10. I think it's $2.10, and I think it's $2.10 for a train ride right now. 240. 240. I think it's 240 for a train ride right now. And the bus, shit, I haven't gotten in the bus in so long. It's cheaper than the train, not that much cheaper though, but I think it's like, I don't even know how much the bus costs. I haven't gotten on the bus in a minute. Or if I have like a link pass and I just tap it, but I haven't gotten on the bus so long, I forgot what the bus. I normally get on the train when I go to work because I don't want to deal with the buses. It's a whole nother thing. I don't want to deal with them. But a link pass, we have something called link pass where you pay a set price and you basically have unlimited use of the bus pass for 7 days. That's what I tend to get. It used to be $13, then it went to 15. Now the bitch is at $21 and 20. I think it's at $21 and something. 22.50 or something like that. That's how much it is now. So I've watched it increase. So, but if you pay that $22.50, it's basically good for 7 days until it, to the time you actually brought it. So that's when it will expire. So that's not bad. I tend to go with that. And if you get one of those weekly, it's going to make out to how much the monthly bus pass is, however much that is, which has got to be $100 and something for sure by now. And that link pass and the monthly pass, you can ride unlimited times on the subway. The commuter rail is something different though. The commuter rail, I'm not sure. The 7-day link pass, you can't get on the commuter rail because the commuter rail tends to be a little bit more expensive and it takes you further out. Like if I wanted to go to a further out town, like more rural Mass, I can get on the commuter rail. Tends to go further out that way. But the commuter rail is also in the hoods. We have stops in the hoods, obviously, so that we can access the commuter rail. If we wanted to go that far out, we have access to that. So there's certain areas located in the city that you can access the commuter rail. But again, I'm in the city part, so everything's kind of like right there. Just got to get on a train or a bus to get there. So, talked about food, transportation. Let's talk about housing. Housing is crazy right now. The city has been being gentrified for some time now. So what I see is a lot of new condo-like apartments going up where they're like really expensive, and predominantly people who have a lot of money, which tend to be Caucasian, are moving in. Now, the city tends to have a certain percentage by law of low income or whatever market rate they have to have. So maybe a handful of people will get in that don't have to pay what everybody else is paying, like the market rate. But these apartments are going for, let's say, they're super fancy. And so what I'm seeing is places that, I'm gonna call in the hood, that would just be like a lot or just an open space, or they're being replaced by very expensive apartment condo housing, and that's going on all over the city. It's been going on for years. So that's what's happening with housing. Houses are super expensive. My sister's been trying to move for some years. I think she was looking for something like in the 500,000 range. That hasn't been happening. So if you're trying to get a house, especially in the city, I don't know why you want to get a house in the city unless you got a nice spot in a nice little area that's kind of quiet and you got some land. I won't want it because I don't want to pay for an expensive private house. I'm not paying 600, 700,000 for a house where I'm going to be sitting right next on top of somebody else and my neighbors are across the street. Anybody could be ratchet and fucking crazy. Who's doing that? No, 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 no. So if you're going to buy a house in Massachusetts, I would recommend you look on the outside of Boston. I mean, it depends on what type of lifestyle you're trying to live. If you want to be with the shits, go ahead and get you a expensive 700,000, 500,000. I don't know what it's got to be going for 500 plus, like 600 plus right now, 700. The market is, I don't know what it's like, but 2020 you was looking at 600, 700 to get something in the city, or like Rosendale, which is still same type area. So I don't know. I know right now this house that I'm in, if they were to sell it, is on the market for 700,000, and I'm in Mattapan, aka Mattapan. But yeah. So that's what's been going on. We do have a new mayor, Mayor Wu, and I'm liking her. I don't care if y'all don't like her, whoever sees this, but she seems to be. I'm not sure, man. With me, I think she's. Please don't forgive me. I think she's Vietnamese or Chinese. I'm not sure. She's of Asian descent, something like that. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not offending if I'm getting that wrong. But she has been paying attention to. There's a lot of people who've been on drugs and they be around trying to prosper the city. So she's been focused on making sure those people are getting some type of housing, hopefully some type of rehabilitation as well, so that they're able to maintain living in apartments and getting them off the street. So we've kind of had like a mini Skid Row around here, like miniature, but there's a lot of homelessness in the city scattered about. So, and people who are on drugs. Um, what else can I say about housing? So yeah, a house like for where I'm at right now, I'm in a 3 bedroom, but I'm in a 2 family house. I'm on one side of a 2 family house, and there's 3 bedrooms here, and pay. I got in some years ago, and so I pay. I think it's like 1,900 or something. But right now, a 3 bedroom is going for like 3,500. So 3,000, you can get a 3 bedroom for 3,000, but nobody's giving you a 3 bedroom in the city, even in the hood, for under 3,000. Looks like right now, unless you get lucky. 3,000 seems to be the minimum going price for a 3 bedroom in the city of Boston right now, and that's a regular old, Now for something in a certain area in the city, you're probably gonna be paying for like a 1 bedroom, 3,000, 4,000. It's kind of expensive here. And let's not talk about the food, because what did I look at and it was $10? Shit, I brought some peanuts for fucking $10 the other day. I'm like, what? I'm not even lying to y'all. I brought some peanuts the other day, y'all. I think these were $8. These were $8. I'm like, for real? Something was like $10, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, $10 for real? That's crazy. Food's expensive. But, and the weather, the weather. What can I say about the weather? The weather right now is rainy, but I love rain, so it's no problem for me. But the weather is, when it's muggy, it's muggy. Like, I'm happy because past 2 days it's been so hot. I was like, the humidity is crazy here. And we have some beaches and stuff you can go to. If you ever come to Massachusetts, I recommend you going to Plymouth, Mass. And they have a beach called White Horse Beach out there. It has like white sand and stuff. Rich people living in their little condos. It's really nice and serene out there. So Plymouth, Mass, White Horse Beach. But we do have beaches that you can get to on a train. Like if I want to go to the beach right now, I probably can get there in like depending on how fast the train's running, under 45 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Like, it depends. Like, because I would have to get on the one trolley, and I have to get on the train to get in, and then it's like a couple of stops on the train. So maybe in a car, I would get there in like maybe 10 minutes or so from where I am right now, the closest beach. But we do have some beaches. We have Revere Beach, we have Savin Hill Beach. These are beaches that you can get to on the MBTA. So the Revere Beach you can get to on the blue line, and Savin Hill Beach is the red line, which is the closest line to me. They have Quincy. They have different little beaches. Whether or not you think they're clean enough for you to get in the water, that's your personal choice. But we do have beaches that in the city. What else can I say? We have gyms, Planet Fitnesses, Boys and Girls Clubs. I'm surprised they still have the Boys and Girls Club. They have YMCA's, a couple of those around in the hood. Libraries, hospitals that are local. Like right now, I can walk to a hospital and get there in like 6 minutes. I'm right around the corner from one. And there's a grocery store like 8 minutes. It's around the corner from me. It's a library right around the corner. The CVS. Like everything is like, I'm in the area where everything is really accessible to me. If I need anything, it's right there. Even the train, like whatever, it's like right there. So I live across, not far from a plaza. So there's like a beauty store there, a dental place, the gym. It used to be a Walgreens, but that's taken away. But there's a CVS and library, gas station, stuff like that around me. So okay, that's all. I don't know what else I can talk about with the city right now. In terms of the people, typical people, people are people. I'm not gonna say they act a certain way because I haven't been to enough different cities to say personality differences, which y'all know everybody. I really don't fuck with people too much because I just don't like being in a lot of drama, especially when you're living in the city. It's only so big, a lot of people know a lot of people, and I just like to stay low key and not deal with too many people because I just don't like to be. I know some people, I know a good amount of people, but I don't like to be like talking to everybody all the time. I'm more like, if you see me, it's like, oh shit, look who I see. I like to be that girl. That's the girl I like to be. But if I go out, I'm gonna turn up if I'm in the mood. If I'm in the mood. Okay, I think I talked enough now. I got some work to do, and I'm probably going to and do my nails over because they need to get done. They're not, the blue's fading, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna go take care of these nails. Normally I'd be doing all of this, but they're not done. So I gotta paint them. Alright. So that's a little bit about my city. If you all ever want to visit Boston, you know what I'm saying? Feel free to comment underneath this video. If you want any suggestions, even if you know what I'm saying, no matter where you're from, because the city's diverse. Oh, I also didn't talk about Brigham Circle. Brigham Circle is a nice little area. They have like a little area where they have stores and restaurants. You can get there on the Green Line. The actual stop is Brigham Circle. You can get to Brigham Circle from Park Street Station, which is downtown. You will get on a trolley to get to Brigham Circle because that's the Green Line, and the Green Line are trolleys. The red lines are trains, orange lines are trains, blue line is a train, the purple line is like the commuter rail. So yeah, and we have another trolley, but that's different. That's like orange. So, and then we have the orange line. Okay, but I'm done talking to y'all. I just wanted to tell y'all a little bit about my city. But if y'all ever wanted to come to the city, because we got hotels. We even got a little hotel in the hood. We got the casinos. Y'all know we got the casinos. You can get to the casinos. You could be dropped right off at the casinos, straight from getting on the orange line. The orange line You get off at Wellington Station, and then you get off. You get on the casinos actually have shuttles, free shuttles for the guests. They have their own employee shuttle for the people who work there, and then they have their shuttles for people who visit. And so people you never have to drive to the casino if you. This is what's that one? That's Encore. Now we have other casinos, Foxwoods and Twin Rivers. I don't know how. I normally, if I go there, I'm driving, like, or somebody's driving. We're driving there to the door, and we're parking. But Encore, which is located in Everett, you can get to, even from living in the hood, fairly quick. You just hop on the Orange Line, and when you get off at the Orange Line, they have shuttles that take you directly to the front door of the casino, and they also bring you back to the station. So they're free of charge. And yeah, y'all can check out the casino. They got some restaurants in there. If you got some money, you can shop and buy you some bougie outfits, because those stores in there, I don't know. But okay, yeah, I digress. Let me go. I'm about to. Okay, have a good day. Proof. Come visit my city and let me know if you come.